A clap. Hello and welcome to this Lunch and Learn with Professional Photographers of Iowa. We're going to have some people popping on, so if I say hi to them, that's what I'm doing. But for all of those who are joining us right now, thank you. And for those who are going to be watching on the replay, if you don't know who I am, I'm Jamie Ellis, and I'm the current president for Professional Photographers of Iowa. And I am so excited to be here today to talk a little bit about our upcoming annual convention, which is called Focus Forward. It's going to be held on April 10 through 13 in Amana, Iowa. And I'll talk a little bit more about that after we're through with our chat with our guest today. I am super excited to have Luke Marzano here with us today. He is
Hey,
going to
hey,
be
hey.
speaking at our event, and yeah, we're just going to kind of chat about his program and why he's excited to teach about what he's teaching about and all those good things. So, welcome, Luke.
Thank you. I am so excited to be a part of this and get to see you again and chat all things.
Yay. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where are you from? What kind of studio do you have? Like full-time, part-time? What do you photograph? All that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So, my name is Luke Marzano. I'm in Western Pennsylvania. I grew up in literally a small farm town. We had one traffic light. So I grew up working on a dairy farm. So, that taught me quickly, what hard work is, what discipline is.
Welcome to Iowa.
Yeah, exactly. And then I had all the dreams and aspirations of I wanted to move to Hollywood and be an actor. So I was a theater major, which no one told me at the time is you really can't get anything with a theater degree. I went to job
Sure.
interviews after college and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that was a thing." And I would immediately go, "Oh no." Like I took
It's
on a
kind of
lot
like
of
a
debt.
photography degree.
Yeah,
Like, what do you do with that? Unless you're going to go into
exactly.
commercial or something, but
Exactly. So my wife and I moved to LA for 5 years. I pursued the acting, but lost all my money and the car that broke down on the way. So quickly got a corporate job. And I liked that income because it was guaranteed, but everyone out in
sure.
California was a photographer. So when I moved back to Pennsylvania, I was like, there's photographers, but it was the very, very dated photographers who were like,
Sure.
this is how you do it now, and it's the only
Yeah.
way. There's no creativity.
Yeah,
So I
like Olin
quickly,
Mills or
yeah,
like
oh yeah,
those, yeah,
exactly.
Sears portrait.
The soulless pose, like.
Yeah.
But so I started doing it on the side for about 6 years. And then I was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. And the
Oh, no.
doctors gave me, they said, you have about 3 to 6 months to live. Like, get your affairs in order. This isn't good. And
Oh
what's
my
funny
God.
is it's a cancer that's for heavy drinking and smoking, and I didn't do any of that. So it was just like a
Wow.
very out of left field, like, okay. But I told my
Yeah.
wife, like, if I survive, I'm not working for the man anymore. I'm gonna go full time into photo and video.
Yeah.
And then by God's grace, I did survive. But my wife was like, so are you really quitting that guaranteed income? And I was like, I think so. Throwing up a little bit in my mouth. But so I've been
Yeah.
doing it now, 6 years cancer free and 6 years working for myself, essentially.
Wow.
So
Congratulations.
thank
That's
you.
amazing.
Thank
That
you.
is
Yeah.
like, I'm like almost verklempt. Like that
Oh,
is
yeah. Right.
really awesome. So
Right.
I am so happy to hear that. I knew you had a health journey, but I didn't know it was quite so
It
serious. So
it was they
wow, that's
what's
amazing.
great little sci-fi, they removed my esophagus and they put my stomach in my chest. Like it's the craziest trippy. Like I have the lungs of a 78-year-old because my lung can't expand because there's a stomach there now. So it's
Wow.
like
What?
it's
That is
crazy. Yeah,
crazy.
but it's given me such a great perspective, especially going into, as photographers, we're storytellers. So helping to tell
Yeah.
people's stories, whether it's in the sorrow or the happiness, finding the joy in the darkness, like things like that. So I feel
Yeah.
it's helped me in a way creatively dive in deeper to people's stories and connect on another level. So it's been really cool.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
what kind of subjects are you typically photographing? Like what's your main
Yeah.
jam?
Yeah. So I'm self-diagnosed ADHD. So I always
Ha,
used
me
to
too.
say, yeah, I used to say everything. Like every shoot was my favorite shoot because I was like, I just love this. Now that it's 6 years in and I'm like still figuring out like the business end, I'm like, okay, I think seniors in sports are like my bread and butter. Like that's where I don't feel like I'm dying inside anymore when I'm shooting that. Like it still feeds the creative soul.
I know
So
that feeling.
yeah, oh yeah. So that's
I think we all do.
yeah.
So when you say sports, are you talking like volume type sports or what exactly do you mean by that?
So what's funny is I thought yes, volume, but because of my health and I have no endurance because of the lungs of a 78-year-old.
Sure,
I
yeah.
quickly jumped to like sports
Uh-huh.
portraits,
Yep.
but more so in the I always say for 6 years I was the weird photographer, and now I'm the creative photographer, and they're like
Cool.
we so that's where we're kind of like trying to living outside in LA for a while made me realize like for kids to feel as elite as they are in a small town, which is hard to do,
Yeah.
we need to provide them an experience. And when they get the pictures taken, they feel epic and like awesome
Yeah.
athletes. And then when they see the pictures, they're like, oh no, I am an epic, awesome athlete. So
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
yeah, so it's been fun.
Very cool. Well,
Yeah.
talk to me a little bit about your program that you're going to be giving at PP Iowa because it's not really pertaining to like what we've been talking about. So I'm excited. I know what it is and we have it, posted, but like give me a little synopsis of what your program will be about.
Yeah, so being in the photography industry has been eye-opening for me. It's been a you get I think you don't know till you don't know, and the photography industry is it's a whole world in itself.
Yeah.
And what I found, I've been able to kind of travel the country for different workshops teaching social media and video in a way where I'm seeing all. I basically assume everyone is more talented than me photo wise. And I'm like, but sometimes when I post my photos, I'm getting more views and traction, but that doesn't mean I'm better than, but I think we
Sure.
instinctively go, oh, I didn't get a lot of views, so I'm not that good. So what I realized was like, photographers either hate the idea of video and social media because we all
Yep.
wear 20 different hats.
Yeah.
And I always joke, like, anytime you tell a photographer to post something on Instagram, you just see the soul leave their body. And they're like, okay, let me change hats. So, so
Oh, I feel like we are like birds of the same feather, you and I, because it could be the whole like ADHD thing too, but like I love social media and so it's like that dopamine hit.
uh-huh,
And so I'm always
exactly.
like, yes, I'm
Yeah.
gonna post today and I'm gonna whatever, whatever. And then you talk to other photographers and I'm always so shocked, like you're saying, how other photographers are not like that. Like they just do not want to show their face. They don't, a lot of them, I shouldn't say
Yeah.
all, but a lot just don't want to have that extra thing added to their plate. And yeah, so tell me a little bit more. Keep going.
Yeah. So what I'm excited about it is my goal is to lower those defensive walls we have with social media and show you that like not only can you do it, you can thrive in it without feeling like you're dead inside, without feeling like you're being held hostage, which I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing of that, and I'm going to dive into it more when we talk, but like getting that state of mind of I'm documenting, I'm not creating. So
Yeah.
like we do a lot as
Hmm.
photographers that people don't see. And all you have to
Mm-hmm.
do is document that, whether that's a video or a time lapse of you editing, which sounds stupid and nothing, but I look at this as all ammo just to post online, just to show people,
Yeah.
hey, like I'm still around, I'm still alive, like and for me, I unintentionally was posting on social media looking back now where everyone in our area thinks I'm highly successful and highly rich. And yeah, I get a lot of photo shoots, but I've been working for myself for 6 years and haven't paid myself yet. I'm like, no, I'm
Yeah.
not. Like, please help, send help. Like, but really, it's because of how I was posting. They're like, wow, he's successful, he's still happy, he's doing what he loves. So if I can show people who are actually good at photography how to do that without them hating it, I think that's just going to put a rocket to them to the moon just to show
Yeah.
people like just another level of where they're at. And it takes
Yeah.
away that intimidation of social media.
Can you talk a little bit about why it's important to do that on social media? Like why even?
Yeah,
Like
100%. Yeah. And I think as fellow photographers, you guys have probably run into it already where everyone has a camera now. Or friends go to other friends for pictures, or they have a relative that can do it for them. And then you see it and you die a little inside as a creative and a professional because you see everything that you're like, I could have done that so much better. But they do that because not everyone values what we do as photographers.
yeah.
So they're already going in. I say they have these defensive walls up because they're seeing everyone and their mom posting, "Hey, look at this professional photo I took."
Yeah.
And by you posting on social media, it's lowering that wall where they get to know who you are. So it's not just like, "Hey, here's my work," but here's me as a person. Now, this is where I start to lose photographers because some of them are like, "That's my nightmare. I don't want them to know who I am. I
I'm
don't
not
want
as
that."
cool as Luke.
Yeah.
That's what I hear all the time. I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
cool like you, so I can't do that. I'm like,
Right.
I am not cool. I
Exactly.
don't know.
That's what I said. I was like, I'm not cool. You just think it because I post with uninvited confidence. Like I just
Yes, there
post
you
because
go.
I
I
have
love that.
ADD and like I get that dopamine fix and I move
Yeah.
on forgetting I posted it.
Yep. Oh
But
yeah.
giving everyone finds their voice and I like to Lucify things. Tell me how you do it, and then I'm gonna Lucify it and see how that works for me. Like it's not the same for everyone. So my goal is to
Yeah.
bring in just these new perspectives of social media where Diana and Gina and Sarah and Crystal, like you guys can turn it into what it looks like for you. Because for a while on social media, I was called the cringe king and I loved it. I'm a basic white chick at heart, and I will dance to every Beyonce song, like every Kelly Clarkson, like, and I just do it just because it's fun, and my kids
Yeah.
laugh,
I love it.
and I'm not saying everyone has to do that because it's
Yeah.
just, but everyone gets to get a peek behind the curtain and who you are. And
Yeah.
for me, a lot of people are booking not because of I'm ridiculously talented or ridiculously good looking. It's because they feel comfortable and safe with me.
Yeah.
And then that opens up a whole new world. And
Yes.
one of my big things I love is I love getting parents that book their kids who hate their photos taken because then I'm like, challenge accepted. And like,
Yep.
how can we get in their world?
Yeah.
And then once they go, hey, what if we try this? And they're never like confident about it. They're like, what if we try this? And I go, yes, maniacal laugh. And then all of a sudden it's their shoot and we're making them feel the elite person that they can be. So it's always exciting. But social media is what brings down that wall so people come to you in the first place.
Yeah.
Um,
I love it. And are you going to go over in your program like why Um, like what about social media happens that like why video specifically is important within social media, like how the apps work and the algorithms and all that stuff too?
Yeah, yeah, basically breaking down more of just because how our attention spans have devolved over the years. Like I just saw a stat I used to 2.7 seconds used to be what you have, and that everyone was shocked by that. But now some studies are showing it's even under a second. It's like
Under
point
a
0.6.
second.
It's crazy. Even with my ADD mind, I'm like that is crazy.
And it's so
Like,
funny because I do some doom scrolling and
yeah,
I do go to social media for entertainment. Like I know
right.
that if I want to like disconnect or distract myself for a hot minute, I am going to get some giggles if I go to like TikTok or Instagram Reels or whatever. And I go there searching for that. And it's funny because when I pay attention to my habits when I'm scrolling, I know immediately, no, no,
hmm
no. Like I am scrolling so quickly and making that judgment call whether I'm going to watch a video in so quick.
Yeah.
So it's interesting when you take note of how you use, like if you are a person that does do that, how you interact with the platform because you're not going to be the only one. Other people who are using that platform are just like you know, like they're using the platform
hmm
like you. And if you're kind of looking for like-minded individuals as clients, then you need to be paying attention to how you use that app.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's called me out a couple times because like as much as I love social media, I'll find that I mentally like videos or posts, but I don't actually double tap. And to me, I was like,
Oh,
oh, what's the big deal? But then I go to show people like, oh, look, and I was like, I can't find it. And I'm like, oh yeah, mentally I liked it and then moved on because we're in that zone of just ha ha ha,
yep.
swipe, oh, sad face. Like, but
Yeah.
actually like getting that engagement and
Also, now that other people can see what you like,
hmm
that makes a difference, I think. Like, I think people are hesitant to double tap if they're
yeah,
like, what if somebody sees that I liked this video? Like, what does that say about me? I
yeah,
don't know.
right.
Like, I think there is a little bit of psychology there. Um, but talk to me a little bit. So I've been hearing a lot on like when I'm scrolling, I get fed a lot of marketing
hmm
content, like how
Yeah.
to market, whatever. And I have constantly been hearing that the grid is dead. Like it doesn't matter what your grid looks like. And when I say grid, for those who are like maybe a little bit more social media illiterate, the grid is like your profile. Like if
hmm
somebody taps your profile and they're looking at your all your posts on one grid, that's what I'm mentioning. And I am kind of like weird about my grid. I want it to match my brand because I feel like it's kind of a representation of my brand. And So I am a little bit of a stickler, not so much on TikTok, but more on Instagram. Do you have any insight on that? Like, do you feel like people look at profiles? Does it matter if people are there looking for entertainment versus looking to shop?
Right. So I don't think the grid is as big as a deal as it used to be. And even when we'll say the professionals said like it's all about your grid, I don't think it was as big a deal as they push that because
Yeah,
that's control you have.
I agree.
But also what's funny is we say the attention span's dropping, so it's going even shorter. But with that, the number of times someone has to see something before they engage has increased. So
Yeah,
it went from I want to say 4 times to 9 times, and now I think we're up to 12 or 13 times before they actually interact with something. So if
yeah,
you're running a promotion or a special or mini sessions, and you might feel like not everyone's liking this anymore, it's because the algorithm's not pushing it as hard because people aren't
yeah,
literally engaging as they used to.
yeah.
But
And I
we,
have
oh,
noticed. Oh, go ahead.
oh
Sorry.
no, that's okay. I was just going to say we start to blame ourselves, but really what it
Oh.
comes down to is it's people not in, they're unintentionally not engaging because we're
Yes,
just
and
so in that rhythm.
that's what I was just going to touch on is that I do think that people use, even though like Instagram Reels and TikTok are kind of a similar content,
Hmm.
how people use each app is so different. Like when I'm on TikTok, I very rarely go to people's profiles. I am not following, but I'll double tap because I know that it'll show me more of their content.
Yeah.
But I almost forget to like actually follow people that I want to continue to see. Whereas on Instagram, I want to engage more on a personal level with the people I follow or that follow me. So it's interesting how like you can't let that stuff go to your head too much because yeah, just because people aren't like liking your post anymore, it doesn't necessarily matter.
Right. And actually I teach youth group and I did an experiment to show them like my goal is to teach your value isn't in engagement or likes or anything. It's easy to get caught up in that, especially when we're told you need to get likes, you need to get views. But my passion's video. Like I started in video and when I moved back home to small town Pennsylvania, everyone was like, why do we need video, let alone to pay for it? And I went, uh-oh. So I quickly jumped to photography. I would say I learned on the streets of YouTube, like the basics of
Yeah.
like how that works. But I edited a video where there were 9 M&Ms, and when you swipe across, there's 8 left, so one disappeared. But I purposely edited one frame where you can see it's a horrible cut. Like the perfectionist editor in me hated it,
Uh-huh.
but I wanted the haters to come in.
Uh-huh.
I did not expect it got 16 million views in 48 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And it was all like, this is stupid. Go kill yourself. And I'm like, my wife's
Oh,
like,
why do
honey,
people say that?
they're so mean. But I felt like keep dancing puppets. I did this. I
Yeah.
knew this would. I didn't think it would blow up that much. But the lesson is like people would say that's viral.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm popular or famous. It was all haters expressing how much they hated it. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like finding that balance of like what the noise is versus what the content is.
Yeah. Also, you mentioned going viral. What are your thoughts about that? Like I do some mentoring and I teach my mentees that like the goal is not to go viral,
Hmm.
right? You know, like
Right.
that's not necessarily the goal because they're like, I don't want to go viral. I don't want a million people looking at my face. It's like, well, that's not really the point. It's not the
Right.
goal. So, can you touch on that a little bit? Like
Yeah.
how did that affect you, that experience?
Yeah. So, to rewind a little further, I've been on social media like focus since 2009 when I lived in California because I realized quickly like YouTube leveled the playing field. Now you don't
Yeah.
need Hollywood agents, you don't need anything. So I went on YouTube and I was actually blew up a little bit. Like I had a couple gift bags from McDonald's that sent me stuff from videos I made. That's when I thought I made it. I was like, I got free food for like a month. I'm living the dream. Like, but what it is I was on the first YouTube paid partners program where I was getting paid monthly for views, and I was like, I like this. And then I got doxxed. And for those that don't know what that means, is someone posted all my personal information, my social security, where
Ah,
we lived, and so I'm a million percent extroverted. My wife's a million percent introverted, and she was like, "This is my nightmare.
yeah.
We need to end." So we ended it. Fast forward, I got on TikTok. As I was going through the cancer treatment, I had all these ideas like if I survive, I want to start creating again. That blew up. I got up to 150,000 subscribers there. So you start to feel like, oh, Mr. I wasn't making any money, but I had imaginary suspended
Sure.
animals, like anything
Hmm.
I do. And then I got doxxed again unintentionally by someone local. Like, hey, I know exactly where that house is. And then they said where we lived. And
Oh,
again, my wife
shoot.
was like, I hate this. And I was like, okay. So we stepped back. So this is
Yeah.
I call this Luke 3.0. We're going to start coming back in. But the false sense of victory that virality gives you
Mm.
does nothing for you as a person or the business. It's
Yeah.
a fun
Yep.
15-minute thing. It's fun to base off of it, but what I found, it started to shift my creativity towards what's going to get more views. And the
Yep.
second you're going for views, you lose who you are, what you're shooting for, and what you're
Who
aiming
you're
for.
talking to.
So it's a slippery slope. Now,
Yeah.
granted, everyone loves to have that idea of going viral, but the real way to go viral is like finding your voice in the digital space.
Yeah.
And I always say like my weirdos are gonna find me because I'm the king weirdo. Like,
Did you find that like your local, like people in your local area even had a clue that like, yeah,
no,
no.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's still like foreign here. Like I've even tried. So I don't market myself as social media guru because I don't implement what I teach. Like I love it. I'm just like, okay, like so like I hate to say like I'll teach you social media, then you go to my thing and it shows me I only have like 1,500 followers. Like I want to follow someone who knows what they're doing. But I offered businesses for free, like social media, like a month's worth of reels, videos, and they're
Yeah.
like, we don't need it. And I'm like, oh, but you do. And then when
That's why I'm contacting you.
exact my concern is when you realize you need it, it's too late.
Yeah.
Because what I love about social media is this is the hippie in me, is it sticks it to the algorithm overlords that want you to pay for ads. For
Yeah.
those that are successful and you can pay for ads, they work. I'm happy for that. But like when I don't know if anyone's ever boosted an ad on Instagram or Facebook, but your reach drops after that.
And
They
it doesn't work. It's
it
not
does
worth it.
it doesn't work. And then my VIP group that I have, I did one boosted ad for it, and my reach went from 70% people seeing my post to 28%. Because
Yeah.
now the algorithms are like, oh, they'll pay for it again.
Yep.
They just have
Yeah.
we just have to wait long enough, and they will wait. I thought I could wait them out, and I was like, nope. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going organic reach. So between
Yep.
SEO and organic, I'm like, I love
Yeah.
social media posts because you get to be you and you have that control.
Yeah. Can you touch a little bit on that? Like how you kind of combine your social media things that you do with your SEO and like how you kind of like, are you um, trying to push people from your posts onto your website? Is there a certain little tidbits that you do that we should know about?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a little backstory on that too. Before is the job I had before I had cancer. I was working for it was a basically Squarespace for churches before Squarespace existed.
Okay.
So I learned quickly about like SEO and backlinking and like how to build
Yep.
that credibility. So me, I love the idea of backlinking everything. So like if your post is linking to your site, somewhere on your site needs to link to a post. So that's why somewhat
Oh,
I don't know if you remember, like in the big burst of blogging, everyone would blog every session. They'd talk
yep.
about it and link to their posts.
Yep.
That doesn't get as much traction now, but SEO wise, it's still seeing that cyclical energy of like, I'm linking to here, then back here. And Google
Yep.
bots, they see that and they go, oh, this is generating outside traffic. Let's keep pushing this.
Yep.
So it definitely helps in that way. But
Yeah.
I still think for a lot of photographers go like, I don't want to add that to my list of things to do. Like I'm already miserable.
Are
Like
you using Pinterest for that?
I am, yes. So
Yeah.
I go in waves. It's Pinterest and actually LinkedIn are the two like
Yes.
biggest flood of views that they come from.
Yep.
For me, I always say Pinterest and LinkedIn. Pinterest is better because it fits my crazy spastic vibes, whereas
Yeah.
LinkedIn, it's more professional.
Yep.
But I've had a lot of seniors' parents reach out to me through LinkedIn.
Really?
It blows like recently. Before I was just the goofy guy on LinkedIn, and now they're like, "Hey, I saw your post on the importance of senior photos," and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah. So, when you're posting, like, let's say you're going to make a TikTok or an Instagram reel,
yeah."
are you gearing that content more towards, I'm going to focus on seniors a little bit. Are you gearing that content more towards the seniors and then maybe LinkedIn is more towards a parent, or are you differentiating anyway in that sense?
That's a great question. I used to differentiate, like I'd make LinkedIn specific content,
Yeah.
Facebook and TikTok. And after, again, ADD, I hated my life after 2 weeks. And I was like, I can't keep just moving these little Russian dolls around to guess where the ball is. Like, so more I try to focus on like what's one core thing that you want to present as you. For me,
Mm.
I don't have my name in the brand. That makes it easier for when people reject me. Like if they say you're too expensive, I'm like, yeah, Rewind
Yep.
might be not be a fit for you. They're not saying Luke Marzano
Sure.
is too expensive. So that helped
Yeah.
me separate.
Yep.
But a lot of my personality is now associated with it. So when I'm making TikTok and LinkedIn, it's just me talking to the viewer. So I'll be like,
Sure. Okay.
hey guys, and what up, dudes are my two go-to because
Yep.
everyone kind of pulls into that.
Okay, this might be a generational
Mhm.
hot take, but guys and dudes are non-gender specific.
Right.
Like, I
Exactly.
don't know if it's just our generation that gets that, but sometimes I'll say something and then I'm like, they don't realize that I'm talking to like everybody. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
younger
People,
people are so sensitive, and so it's like, sorry if you're young and you're on the Zoom, but
yeah, no, that's
anyway,
exactly it though.
yeah,
But what I
they are
love,
definitely non-gender specific
you're
terms, I
right,
think.
100%. And that's kind of what I like though, because it does rub some people the wrong way, and then they comment, but the algorithm sees that and goes, "Oh, there's engagement. Let's show more
And
people."
yes, and I like that you touched on that too, because people interact with negativity,
Hmm.
which is so crazy to me because a lot of what I post and what I am passionate about is positivity and like positive self-talk and positive body image and those kinds of things. But when you lead with something negative, like, I hate to break it to you, but, or,
Hmm.
bet your photos didn't look like this, or like, I don't know, something kind of on that negative side, or the biggest mistakes I've made as
Hmm.
a blah blah blah. I have learned that people pay attention a little bit more to that, and they resonate with that because they don't want to also make those same mistakes.
Right.
So like, yeah, it's
I,
interesting how that works.
and what I love is I'm not now some people I've talked to some people where they don't want to do this, but like I started off as an accident having a typo in your caption
Yep.
or mispronouncing something. And the grammar police come out of the
Yes.
woodworks.
But that is a trick that is old as time.
Uh-huh.
I knew people way back in the day who were doing yellow page ads and
Hmm.
newspaper ads that would intentionally put typos in there because people notice it.
Hmm.
Like, they stop and they're like, oh, typo. But then they remember your name. And then
Ex
they're like, next time they're looking for a
hmm.
photographer, they're like, oh, I saw that thing.
And
Yeah.
what's
So
cr
anyway,
and doing that, the longer you do it, like not obviously like if you're a luxury brand, you're not always like me has cheeseburger
yeah.
and love it. Like,
I'm
but
so
like,
smart.
yeah,
SMRT.
exactly. But it's even these little things that lower people's defensive walls even more because they instinctively go like,
Oh, it's a
he's
human.
one of us. They're one of us.
Yeah.
Like they're flawed individuals, and that's what we
Yep.
are. Sometimes I let people peek too far behind the curtain, and they're like, "This guy is off his rocker." But overall, like it helps people. Again, you need to give them reasons on why they want to book with you,
Yes.
because in their minds, everyone's a photographer. Like you could show
Yeah.
them a professional photo and one taken on someone's like camera they got for Christmas, like a phone, and non-photographers will be like, "Oh, they're both great. We're just happy
Yep.
everyone's having fun."
And they're asking for that.
Right.
Like, my senior clients are starting to ask for more imperfect images, more real
Hmm.
looking, raw, not necessarily like technically raw files, but like
Right.
rawness
Yeah.
in the imagery. And so that is a plus for us creators who are like trying to make content. It's like, it doesn't have to be, they don't want it to be perfect anymore.
Right.
Like, it doesn't, there's no, you don't have to put makeup on to get on and talk on your story, or,
Right.
like, there's no pressure to like really have a high production value anymore, which is kind of
Right.
nice
Yeah.
for social media content, is what I'm
E-
kind of getting at.
exact because you don't it takes away that stress of needing something to post. For me,
Yeah.
people this is going to sound crazy, but I'll set an alarm for like let's say right now it goes off at 12 it's 12:30 Eastern time. I'll say remind me in 45 minutes to post another story. And then when that
Oh,
alarm goes off, I just basically photograph or film whatever's around me. And a
Yeah.
lot of times I'll just do that low angle, when you open your phone and it's on selfie and you're horrified because it's the worst angle of you ever. I'll
Yes.
post that because people find it funny. And
Yeah.
it's like, again, one of us,
Yeah.
like we've all been there. So
Yep.
it's just finding that balance of what you're willing to share, what
Yeah.
you're allowed to let people see you're flawed in. And like I did one senior where she had tan lines in every photo. So I
Yep.
spent hours editing it out. She didn't say anything otherwise. I gave it to her. She's like, oh, no, no. Tan lines are cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I wish you would have said that 72 hours ago because
Yeah. Yeah.
but like now looking back, I wish I would have documented me removing the tan lines and posting that as content and then saying like, hey,
Oh,
turns out no one cares. Like,
yeah.
but
Yep.
again, everything's content in what you're doing and documenting. So,
Yeah, for sure. I had a thought a while back and I lost it, but yeah. So we have quite a few people on. Do you guys have any questions for Luke? Do you have any I don't know, anything you want to share or you can put it in the chat. You don't have to put your voice on here if you don't want, but if you have questions, definitely don't hesitate to put it in the chat. Um, I had a thought. I am bummed I can't think of it. That's that whole like ADHD
oh
thing
yeah.
happening. Yeah, you said you're undiagnosed. Same.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, I my kids are. So,
oh yeah. So
yeah.
I was doing a shoot and the mom came and sat next to me and she went, how's it feel to be neurodivergent and running a business? And I was like, I don't know what that means. And she's like, ADHD. And I was like, oh, I'm
Yep.
pretty sure I have it. She goes, honey, I know you have it. I was
Yeah,
like,
yep.
okay, thanks.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you feel like you want to touch on that's about your program or
Yeah.
any little, I don't know, tidbits, funny stories?
Yeah. Funny story is I always come back to this. The first time I ever went full time after declaring like, hey, I'm gonna do this. It was a first, let's say, non-friend or family. Like someone had booked a family session and we were supposed to meet at the park at 12:30.
Sure.
I got there at 12 just to be safe because I'm ready to throw up. When you start, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have to just
Yeah.
smile through it till it's fine. I get there and then the family shows up and they're like, "Hey, sorry we're a little early." And I'm like, "Oh, that's fine. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off." Did the full shoot. They paid me and I was like, "Oh, this is more than what I said." They're like, "No, this was a great experience. Don't worry about it." And then they left. So I'm packing up my equipment, and all of a sudden a van pulls up, and family gets out. They're like, "Luke, we're ready. We're locked and loaded." And I was like, "What?" So it turns out another family was there to meet another photographer. Thought they had never met the photographer I'd never met, so they thought I was them. So I have this whole gallery of families that I don't know how to reach them or anything. But that was my
Oh my
first ever.
gosh.
So I basically got a double doinker. I got paid twice for two sessions. Like it was just the
Did you
weirdest.
ever
Like
find out who it
no,
was?
no. I tried a whole Facebook like push to like, does anyone know who
Seriously?
these families are? Yeah. I felt like stranger danger for a while because I just took random pictures of people and got paid for it.
That is so funny. That's so
But
crazy that nobody
right,
like spoke up and was like,
I
"Hey,
know.
can I see those photos?" Like,
Exactly. So, and then yeah, so it was one of those where I realized like I wish I would have documented back then what I know now because I feel like that would have been a funny thing to share. Even if it didn't go viral, it would make people laugh. And I think that's what
I
I
feel
always want to
like you
do.
could still do that now. Like that
Right?
is
That's true.
so funny. And then they'll probably see it now and be like,
Yeah,
"Hey, that
right.
was me.
Yeah, right.
Can I have those photos now?" And you're like, they're like,
Oh,
"Oh no,
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even know what hard drive they're on,
That's like
lady."
6 hard drives ago. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny.
But
Oh, I kind of remember what I was thinking about
oh
before
yeah.
is like when we were talking about having a typo in there showing, not feeling the pressure to have it be so produced is the difference between people nowadays are so attuned to whether it's AI or not, especially young people. They are kind of pushing back against that.
Hmm.
If they think that your caption is written by
Oh
AI, they're
yeah.
like kind of out. Um, but it does make a difference on how like the algorithms work and things like that. Are you doing anything specifically to appeal to like AI searches or anything like that yet?
Yeah, so begrudgingly, I'm doing things specifically. Um low key, as a creative, I love AI. I know a lot of
Same.
photographers want to chase it with a pitchfork down the street with torches, like get out of here. But as a creative, I'm like, this makes me unstoppable. Like it's giving me inspo. Like I could
Yep.
I get these pictures in my brain. I don't know how to verbally picture it. So I just keep
Mhm.
talking to AI and then it makes something close. And I'm like, at least now I have something to show a model or someone to be like, hey, this is the goal.
Yeah.
Um, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say I love using it as a
Yeah.
personal assistant. Like
Hmm.
my client filled out this questionnaire about herself. Can you give me like for example, this year I'm planning you guys can steal this idea if you want. I haven't done it yet, but I'm planning at the end of the session or sometime during the session having prompts on little papers and they draw out of a hat the prompt, but they're going to be based on what they told me their interests were on a questionnaire. So, like, run through this field like, um, I don't know, Bad Bunny is over there and you're going to go give him a hug, like their favorite book character or whatever it is. So it'll be like really personalized. And I think that'll be really interesting, to document for social media. Like, I think showing that experience and then people talking about that experience will garner some leverage as far as like, I have heard recently, now this might just be me, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn or nothing because I'm frustrated about it. But I have heard that people are not hiring me because my work is too good. And then I'm like, dang, that bites. Like, anyway,
Yeah.
so the more things that you can do to document the real
Mhm.
experience and the what's happening with you and the experience that you give, that's that's your superpower,
Yeah.
like you can only be you and nobody else can really replicate that. They can try, like anybody could take that idea and do it, but it's still not
Hmm.
going to be the same as when I do it. So, anything that you can document like that and share on social media, I think is only going to help your business in the end stand out and that
Hmm.
tell people you're a real person.
Exactly. And kind of going
Yeah.
off of that, like I'm a big advocate for like I think we get so caught up in the own box that we make of ourselves. We're scared to try new things,
Hmm.
especially in photography because it feels so fragile at this point.
Yeah.
But what I've learned back in I was a waiter. Oh, so because I wanted to do Hollywood, my goal was like, I'm gonna get a waiter job, and then that way, when I'm famous, I could say I used to be a waiter. But I was a waiter all through high school. But my biggest tips were from the ones that I initially messed up the order on. But
Mm.
it's because of how I reacted to it and built a relationship with each of those people. And my manager would always be like, dude, normally people wouldn't get any tip and they're tipping you more because they feel bad for like making you like uncomfortable. And I kind of
Yeah.
carry that into photography, where it's like I try new things. Where for a while on TikTok, I had it kind of like your idea. I had a deck of chaos, and they got to pull from the deck. And when they would pull, it'd be a limit that I had to do for a couple shots in the shoot, like take 5 photos with oven mitts on, something silly and stupid. And I did this fully thinking it's going to be cringe, people are going to hate it. But I had kids booking me because they wanted to pull from the deck of chaos. And I was like, this worked? Like shocked because I was like, this is just silly, haha. And because of ADD, I haven't continued it. Now I'm talking about it. I'm like, oh, I got to do that again.
I know, right?
That
All the
scratches that itch
ideas.
on my brain.
Yep.
But what's funny is we think we give us this box of like they're going to hate change and difference. And a lot of times they don't because it's real. It's more normal and organic than an AI protocol in a
Yeah.
sense. So,
Okay, so I have somebody that has their hand raised. Gina has her hand raised. Do you have a question for us, Gina?
Gina.
Hi.
Hi. You
Sorry, I
can put your
forgot.
video on if you want.
No, not,
Okay.
not this morning.
I want to see your face. No, I'm joking.
It's not great right now. Long
You
weekend
must
out.
be a robot then if you don't want to. It's not real. No, I'm
I'm
joking.
also I'm a server at Splash Seafood, and we had Valentine's weekend, and I'm also older, so super sore all week, but uh today I'm catching up on everything, and I still need a shower. I was wondering a couple things. Like, I think I put in the comments, my studio, I've been collecting. There's two parts to the question. Like, one, I think about posting kind of why I haven't done a lot of photography over the last few years is because my mother had cancer, endometrial cancer, and we've been battling it for like 3 years. So it kind of goes off and on,
Mm.
Um, so I kind of feel for you as well because it's
Yeah,
so
sorry to hear
hard.
that.
Well, just in November, she did pass away.
Sorry to
Mm.
hear.
And
I'm so
that
sorry.
was the whole summer was just brutal. I had I had surgery to remove all my uh, uterus and everything because I know there's probably too much information.
That's
So,
okay.
so that I was down. There's just been a lot. And I always
Yeah.
think about whether to post some of that information or if it would just, like you said, cringe or come off as, um, I just go back and forth on that, whether to kind of share some of that uh, or just to kind of explain why I have some photos, but maybe not as much as people might expect. And then that question first, I guess, is what I'm kind of feeling, I guess, what to do with that.
Yeah. I mean that's a valid question because I think the first thing it comes down to like how vulnerable are you willing to be?
Yeah.
But though like for me, I love the vulnerability of it because if you're willing to share it, one, it kind of surpasses that level of business as a whole, and you can just touch the
Mm.
people's souls of like what you're going through. So they might not need your services at this time, but you've
Right.
now cemented a part of you in their lives. So like when it comes to
Mm.
when they need it, that because it's so not saying it's so different than photography as a whole, but you're being so
Mhm.
real and vulnerable that that already makes you more relatable than someone who shows up super like finely chiseled, like, "Hi, you want to
Right.
hire me?"
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
also to kind of expand on that a little bit, Gina, I think that if you um connect it to why you're doing what you're doing, as opposed
Mhm.
to why I don't have very many portfolio images or why I haven't been
Right.
working a lot. Like you could say, I went through this really hard time, and that's why I am so passionate about creating photos for you
Right.
because, of my situation. So if you can kind of relate that back to
Mhm.
something that they might also can, relate to, I think then in that situation, it makes sense to get a little bit more vulnerable because you're sharing that really that passion of why you're doing
Mhm.
what you're doing with your people. And I don't think that that is off-putting at all, unless it starts to become like
Right.
a
Right.
little
A
bit of a pity
thing.
party. But
Right. Right.
I think that there's definitely a way to like use that as just kind of showing your true self and letting people get to know you more.
Like there is one, how people talk about AI, but I use AI. I love AI to a certain point, but it doesn't replace the experience that you have when you're doing this session because one of our good memories was I brought all my stuff and to their house and took some portraits of my mom and dad because dad kept saying how he wished he had taken a portrait with my mom and she was real tired but I'm like well we're going to do this. I got everything set up and the next day I didn't do it all in one night but the next day I'm like okay come on just sit down and we got some nice portraits and we actually used one of them for the funeral booklet and my dad always looks to those portraits in that day and she had a fun time too. She was nervous about it but I can edit it and make her look good and she had her wig and we had a nice time from that experience. So a lot of times I found that I'm like you, I started in video and then took some friends asked me to do some senior photos and I was like, okay, but I don't totally know my camera. I kind of know it. And we had so much fun. It was like instant gratification. The
Oh yeah.
videos take a long time. There are a lot of work.
I always tell photographers they don't know how easy they have it.
I know
Oh
it's
man,
like,
I feel like I had to retrain I'm still not I don't offer video for sale because like my brain does not work
yeah, yeah.
in that mode.
I've been kind of redoing my website and I don't even have video on it right now because, especially by yourself, it's difficult. Like there's so
Mhm.
many moving parts and I always forget one of them. And then I can edit pretty well, so but it's harder. It's like so much harder if you don't do it right to begin with. But anyways, yeah, so I've just been trying to do the photography more and get that started. Then I can always do some videos in with it. But posting is I'm trying to do more of the marketing side of
Mhm.
all of it to try to make money because I just need I just spend all of it
Mhm.
on photography equipment and everything. I
Oh
don't miss
yeah.
any money.
Yeah.
Like
It's
it's
funny too now, it's a little bit harder to kind of stand out in that really big
yeah,
sea
Mhm.
of people who are, everybody has a camera nowadays,
yeah,
feeling. And I think that by showing up on social media and really being present and being
mhm,
vulnerable can set you
yeah,
apart a little bit and from all of those like point and shoot kind of people.
yeah,
What also sets you apart is having that kind of bigger reason why you're doing what you are doing, like why you want to
yeah,
be a photographer, that kind of bigger picture. I think people are really looking to support people that are, having a little bit more behind what they're doing now. So
yeah. And I think I've
awesome.
always loved waitressing because you do connect with your people. You give them a beautiful experience. That's the goal of it.
Mhm.
And when you do that, you get great tips. It's not hard, or it's not hard for me because I love people and I
Mhm.
love giving them memories. That's what I love about going out to eat as well. So I just want to translate it, into photography, that same experience. And I
Mhm.
also know that people in Iowa will easily drop $500 on a dinner. So why can't they give it to me for a photo?
Right.
Yeah, I loved that you just touched on creating that memory for people. I think that's another thing that sets, professional photographers a little bit on a higher edge is like the photos
Mhm.
are almost like Luke, you were saying that you don't think you're the best photographer. I feel like the photos are the byproduct. Like
Yeah.
we're creatives, we're making
Mhm.
great photographs, but like we're really giving them an experience that's
Mhm.
unique and
Yeah.
can be uplifting and positive, and you're creating memories for people. And then the
Mhm.
photos are like how you remember that, it's like
Right.
the
Yeah.
almost the byproduct now. And I
Yep.
think
Mhm.
people who are really selling that over book me for $200 and you get all the photos,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you're really going to be able to like,
Mhm.
raise your prices at that point. You're going to be able to attract a
Mhm.
customer, like you were saying, that's willing to
Mhm.
spend a little bit more of that hard-earned
Mhm.
cash. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your Zoom. I just happened to see it this morning. Was like, oh, okay.
I'm a little bit of a slacker, so that's my
That's
fault. But I'm
right.
glad you're here. I hope we get to meet in person someday. I don't think I know you.
Yeah, I did DMAC last year and did the Iowa PPI.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
awesome.
and
Well,
it's
I'm glad you're
really,
here.
really fun. And I won a couple awards for a couple of the photos. That was great. But I had to work that night. So I was running back and forth because I was right next door.
Awesome.
But
Well, we
this
hope to
year,
see you again.
I probably can't do it this year, but I'm hoping to make it to the um, national one and,
Oh,
next year.
yeah.
And then that's my goal. It's like if I can't make enough money to go to that this year, then maybe I need to sell stuff. I don't know. But we'll see. I'm gonna do it.
Well,
Oh, but
thanks for hopping on, Gina.
Thanks.
and then
Um,
Gina, I see your other question. Your studio's in
oh,
your basement, and you
oh
feel
yeah,
like if you post, it looks kind of low quality. I say
yeah,
I'm a big advocate for post away.
yeah.
So luckily, so I have an actual studio. I'm renting an old car garage that the city's going to tear down.
Mhm,
Like, there's no
mhm,
hot water. I always joke like, hey, when you pull up, you think you're going to wake up in a bathtub with ice and you're missing a kidney. Like, I promise it's not a murder building. Like, but what's funny is like no one has been upset with that. They come here and they
Yeah.
go, "Oh yeah, it looks like a murder building." Then they come in, they're like, "Oh, "It's so nice in here." Like, but it
yeah.
makes it more real. And then what's
I
funny is
had.
the
Oh, go
kids
ahead.
started calling it the lab, and I'm like, "I love that. We're calling it the
Oh, that's
lab.
good.
I
No
like
longer
it.
I still default to murder building, but like it's all of a sudden become a community member in my
Yeah.
posts." Like people
Because
are
I
like, oh,
always have to say, come to my basement to
yeah,
take
right,
the
right, right.
photos. And I had a workmate bring his wife and or his girlfriend and their 11-day-old baby. And I'm like YouTubing how to take baby photos, the days before. And then she looked nervous. And then when she came downstairs, she's like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that probably would have been scary to think about
Yeah.
Just a bottle of
going to
chloroform in
the
the corner. Like,
basement,
yeah.
Yeah,
bring
and
your
that's like
baby.
something you can totally share about. You can be like, "Look, this is my basement. I'm
Yeah.
not going to murder you down here."
Uh-huh.
Like you
Everything's
can
all good.
totally like just
I
share,
can
like
cut
be
all this
totally honest
out.
about that.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
guess I could post like before and after, or I have a mannequin head and dress form that I put my styling on first and check the light and everything. I guess I could post that and then what it
Yeah.
ended up becoming. That might be a good
Yeah.
idea.
People love behind the scenes.
Hmm.
So,
That's,
yep.
yeah. I dig through some old photos. Thanks. It was
Yeah.
nice meeting you. I'm gonna have to get back to work.
Well,
You
thanks,
too.
Gina. I
Yeah,
hope to see you
yeah.
sometime
I
soon.
hope to
That'll be
see you
fun.
again soon too. Bye. Have a good day.
You too. Well, if anybody else wants to jump on and ask a question, post it in the chat and I'll be watching for that. But with that being said, we're closing in on an hour here with Luke, so I don't want to take too much of anybody's time. But I am gonna kind of give a little run through of our event that Luke is going to be teaching at and that we've kind of been talking about during this virtual course. Like I said, if you jumped on and you missed it, or you skip past the intro part when you're watching the replay, I'm Jamie, and I am the president right now of Professional Photographers of Iowa. And we are hosting an annual convention coming up in April, which Luke is going to be talking at, as well as a whole list of other amazing speakers. I am kind of the one on the board who does a little bit more of the speaker selection in my president year. That's kind of how our board works, just to give you a little back end. But I am so excited about our speakers this year, not only because they were like kind of my choice, but because they're very diverse in businessy things. So I know that doesn't sound very exciting, but we have all kinds of things. Luke's going to be covering social media, like we talked about, in video specifically. And P.S., I saw your presentation, Luke, at the Peak Senior Summit, and it was chef's kiss. So
Well, thank
if it'll
you.
be anything like that, I think we're in for a real treat. But we have other people who are covering email marketing, SEO, and blogging. We have another person who's going to do content creation. We have a chat GPT specialist, Kira Derryberry, is coming, and personal branding specialist. So we have a lot of content and speakers who are going to be at this event who are not only for professional photographers. So if you're watching this and you're probably a professional photographer, and you know other creatives or solo entrepreneurs who might benefit from some of this information, help us spread the word. We want to have as many people there as possible. And although there is going to be some photography specific courses, there's going to be a lot of networking. There's time to connect with other creatives. There is time to create your own content. There's going to be a party and a brunch and some awards given out. So it's going to be pretty awesome. And I am really excited about it. And yeah, it's in a little town called Amana, which is kind of this little like German touristy village. And there's lots of cool restaurants and shops and things to check out while you're there as well. So, and the venue is sweet. It's an old woolen mill that they've turned into a hotel, and they still have all the like industrial machinery and things around. So, um, yeah. Luke, do you have any other closing remarks that you want to shout out or anything like that?
Yeah, I guess first I am so excited. I've driven through Iowa in cross country driving, but I've never actually visited. So I'm so excited to meet all of you and what I say is the juggernauts of the photography industry because I followed so many photographers that later I found out, oh, they're in Iowa too. Like they're just
Yeah.
breeding photographers left and right. But so excited about that. And I just want to encourage everyone, even if you don't get to uh, implement everything, like just go all in on yourself, social media. Don't overthink it and just document what you're doing because people are going to like you for who you are. And then everything else is just a subsidy of like because of who you are. So don't be afraid to be cringe. I'm an open book, so feel free to shoot me a message with questions if you have it. Like this is all free info. Like I have all this info in my head. I'm like, I don't implement it because I'm not disciplined. So like let me help people that are actually disciplined. So
And you mentioned that you have a Facebook group, right?
yes, correct. Yeah, it is. So in my ADD, I'll narrow it down to two. There's one, it's Rewind Photo and Video VIP group.
Okay.
It's somehow turned more into me looking for models in the area just because I get so many ideas. But there is one, you guys are the first I'm telling this to is
Oh man.
yeah. So it's called Almost Genius, and it is a new
Ooh.
group I'm starting that's just wanting, it's basically to help you get out of your own way and to be creative. I think we get caught up in this perfectionist mindset, which is fine. Like, but when I found out I was being perfectionist with like my what I wanted to create, I was like, I'm limiting myself. So it's going to look very immature. It's going to look hippy dippy, but my goal is for you to kind of find like to exercise that creative aspect to get new neural paths in your head to stop because you get in that editing routine of the workflow. How fast can I
Yeah.
get done? And I
Yep.
think getting the new consistency of creating is just going to go a long way. So for me, it's realizing like not everyone is as creative as me. Not that that's a toot my own horn thing, but like my brain doesn't work in a professional way. It's in how
Yeah.
to get out of your own way. So
Yeah.
almost G,
Awesome.
and it's gonna be a podcast. So I'm gonna
Ooh,
be
I like
interviewing. Yeah, so it's
podcasts. I like
getting.
to be on podcasts
I would love to
too.
have you on it. It's your
I'm
diary,
just
best day
teasing.
ever. No, I was already gonna ask you. So.
I've often thought about starting a podcast, but it might turn into like a PPI podcast, and that's not something that's official. And for my board members who are on here, like that is something I've been thinking about. So anyway, but yeah, I appreciate you so much, Luke, and I am so excited to have you at this event. I think it's going to be so fun. And I know it's going to be so fun because it is every year, but this year's special for me, and I'm excited that you're going to be a part of it.
Me too. Thank you for having me. My wife was so nervous because the word professional is in it. And she's like, listen, you're around professionals. Please don't embarrass yourself. And I was like, do you even know me? So it'll be
Have you
great. I'm
seen other
excited.
photographers or I
Exactly.
mean, come on. Yeah, we're all in that creative zone of some sort.
Oh,
So
yeah.
awesome. Well, I don't see any other questions in the chat, so I just want to thank everybody who joined us today. And same as Luke, I'm also an open book. If you want to contact me with questions about anything, but specifically PPI related, don't hesitate to let me know if you have questions or any of our board members. And yeah, if you want more information on that event, you can find it at ppiowa.com, where you can also register and you can also become a member. Membership benefits include courses like this. So I have opened up this Zoom today to the public, but typically we offer these throughout the year about every other month or so. And they're a member only benefit. And sometimes they're like this where we have a chat and interview somebody. Sometimes they are more instructional and somebody's giving a mini course for about an hour, either on lunch or in the evening. But it is a member benefit. And I think that the $99 membership price, like for just these little bits alone, is so worth it. So if you've been thinking about becoming a member and you haven't, this is one benefit that you'll get. You also get access to membership pricing at our events. So we do have a few in-person events throughout the year. And then you'll also be eligible for awards at our competition. So we host two print competitions in a year, and those are good ways to level up your work. They're good ways to, we give a lot of awards we have lots of different categories so that a lot of people win. And you can use that as credibility in your business. You can shout it out online. You can post them, on your social media and use that as a marketing tool as well. And we'll even provide you with press release as well if you're interested for those kinds of things. So if you didn't know that, we can get you guys press releases when you win awards at print comp. So, yeah, like I said, any questions you have, reach out to me or any board member for Professional Photographers of Iowa. And I hope to see you guys at Focus Forward. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Wah, wah.
I am